if we're using 1 metre, we put 0.66 of a litre into a measuring jug. Obviously, you would do this anyway. You want to measure it into a black plastic bucket, because we're only using small quantities. We're using measuring jugs. So there should be 0.66.
Let us know when it gets to.
Yeah, of a litre. Keep it going. Keep it going. Whoa! Stop. So there's 2/3 of a litre, 0.66. The brown shit. Throw that in the bucket. Yeah, do the next one. Then we do, with the white, we use 0.33 of a litre. You see that?
Yeah,
keep it going.
See this one.
Right, stop. And then what we do, we add part C to part A. With, as I said, you would use about 1%. You can use syringes. Today we use about 5% because we need to go off quick. So all you do, you add that to part A, which comes out there. Then what we do, we mix them both together. And it should go a nice creamy colour. As you can see, it's a nice creamy consistency, ready to be put into the liner, which we'll do so now. Put the end liner clamps on the end like such, to keep the resin from coming out of the liner. Put the funnel in. Obviously you'll be doing this with more than 1 metre, and you just pour it through. Okay, it's done. Okay. Fold the ends over, put the other liner clamp on. Keeping all the liner inside. Obviously you've set up your wetting out machine. You get the resin, try and make it nice and high so you get the back pressure of resin into the liner. Always the idea to wear gloves. Keep it nice and high, and then you just roll it through. Like so. And it'll wet out nicely. You can see it wets out really well on this. Leave it on that side again. What you're trying to do is obviously send the whole of the liner nice and creamy, so you know it's been wet out properly. And then slowly backward and forward. Keep going. Nice creamy consistency. Pull it all the way. That's it, still loads of resin in there. Obviously you want to do this out of sunlight, out of ultraviolet. Should be all okay on the other side. And you just, all the residue, you just pull it through. Get a bucket underneath. There should be much in it. Any residue, you just roll it out. But as it is, there isn't any. Now, if you're going to use one of you're going to pull this, if you've got an excavation, what you want to do is tidy up the ends with a scalpel, cut across there so it's all resined out. Obviously you won't want to push that in. Have you got a rodding fork?
Yeah.
When you use the rodding fork to push it down the line, you cut it exactly where the resin is, and you can make a little slit quite wide here and here, so it brings it together. So when it's going down the line, it will go down the line like that. Obviously, forget about that, that's gone. Yeah, and then you put it on the steel rods and you can push it into position. Or what you can do is get a piece of rope, just do a slip knot on it, polypropylene rope. This is what this is made of. Just put a slip knot, and that can be dragged through. So as I said, this is the dragging liner we're using today. Now, obviously now, we call this obviously the pipe that it's in. Now, if you're going to have problems pushing it into position, use washing up liquid, push it into position. Always try and send the liner down in a straight line. You don't want to push it down like that because it will twist. And try and concertina it up, like so. And then you haven't got about 10-20 metres hanging out the back, and you're pushing that first before it's pushing in there. So if it's all concertinaed up, that's great. Push it in position, down through the pipe, as so. Right. Okay. The next thing you do is insert the inflation hose. So you power up your machine, everything's prepared, let it roll. Air is now going into the machine and it is coming out. That's it. Make sure it goes into the liner and check that it's all the way around, because if it catches the bottom lip, it could look like it's lined, but it's not, it's just going underneath it. So make sure someone can feel it. And then inflate, and it should go on its own now. You can see it coming through. Right, this is a demo of the invertible liner. Now what we're not going to do is resin this up, because it's resined up exactly the same way as the dragging liner. So let's pretend this has already been resined up. Now what you would do is you get hold of the liner itself, no matter how long, you can get up to 20 metres in this small machine, about 40 metres in the big machine. Now